Boxing King Media. We are here in Dubai. Joy Nelson, good to see you, mate. How are you?
Baby, what's up?
Very good, very good. Just talk to me, man. How are you finding your first day in Dubai?
My daughter actually lives out here, so and the thing is, when I came, she left. She's gone back home for Christmas. I'm like, come on, Bailey, man. So I might try and break in her flat and just ruffle up her bed and all that sort of stuff, and go in the cupboard and take out her food and just leave everything on. You know what I mean? Just get them out and get my own back. So yeah, just Bailey, watch out.
Talk to me, man. The IBA. Interesting. They're all putting on a big card on Saturday night. Murat Gassiev and Kurat Pulev fighting for the WBA Friday. Sorry, even I've got into that Saturday routine. But yeah, Friday night, man. What do you make of the IBA and the movement and the whole amateur scene? Is doing a lot right now.
The IBA, I went to their event out in Istanbul, and it was no expense spared. They threw everything at it, and it was authentic. It was a great night, great event, a great few days. It was a chance to show the talent that Eastern Europe has, and forever we see so many talented amateurs that turn pro too late and the world don't know about them. I gave an example of Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko underachieved as a professional, and that's probably because he spent too long as an amateur. And look at what Lomachenko did. Alexander Usyk didn't stay too long, and look at what he has achieved. So these are a couple of that broke out. There are many Eastern European fighters that are outstanding, that can fight, that I think down the line, if the IBA goes the way it's going, 60% of the world champions will be from Eastern Europe. 60%. And because the talent that's there, the grooming, the breeding that's there is not seen by the world. Now it's been put on a platform, so the whole world sees it. So just watch this space.
Interesting stuff. There is a lot of players in the game now, and IBA are definitely stamping their authority. And they've said in that press conference as well, look, we're not here to step on anyone's toes, but we are going to do what we need to do, and that is produce grassroots and do the professional game. It is a good addition to boxing, right?
Of course it is. Competition's good. Competition is good, like it or not. We've got someone to take over completely and corner the market, which I understand. That's if you're a businessman, that's how you do business. These guys may have the same opinion, but they're saying, look, we don't want to step on anybody's toes. That might change in a few years' time. That's business. But I'm looking at it from not a reporter's side, I'm looking from a fighter's side. I love to see fighters earn money. I love to see fighters fight. I love to see fighters walk away from our sport with a house, with something that they can say, I achieved this. I love to see fighters in the green rather than the red when they leave our sport. So the amount of competition that's around, good. It means more fighters get fights, more fighters get paid, more fighters get opportunities.
Yeah, interesting to see what Umar Kremlov, the president, and IBA do in the next couple of years. But it's been a good year so far, man.
Well, they had an official meeting there. They were talking about having an IBA Games.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're talking about, man? They talk about like stepping up a level or three. So again, it's a good thing for young athletes, boys and girls coming through. It's just a good thing, and so to me, regardless of what his agenda is, talent is getting a chance to shine.
Talking about talent, the two main eventers, I'm sure they both are frustrated with the lack of activity they've had over the last couple of years. Gassiev, obviously, we know what he did as a cruiserweight, probably hasn't made that impact as a heavyweight. What do you make of this fight and the main event on Friday night?
For the main event, you've got a 44-year-old Pulev. I was watching his fight against AJ the other day. Pulev's tough. He's a tough cookie. And then I remember his fight against Klitschko. Again, tough cookie. And he still is a tough cookie. But he's an older tough cookie. So he'll be able to take the shellacking, but I don't think he'll be able to take the pace. I think Gassiev wins. I think Gassiev gave Usyk a good run for his money twice. And you remember, anybody who bosses Usyk twice, the first time he might struggle. The second time he slaughters you. I think Gassiev, as how the fight went, he held his own. So I think Gassiev will just be a bit too much for him. I think him stepping up to heavyweight will actually suit him better, because Pulev's got a lot more hard miles, heavyweight miles on the clock. So I'd expect Gassiev to win.
Interesting. Talk to me, man. How's what do you make of boxing right now? There's a few fights before the end of the year. Obviously, we are going to talk about Anthony Joshua and everything else, but Alexander Usyk did an interview with us only a week ago, exclusive, and it hit the news on every sort of radio station and news channel that he wants to face Deontay Wilder. Someone who's done everything in boxing, he does get a free pass to make whatever fight he wants and whatever fight he needs. Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder, what do you make of that one?
Good for him. He's going where the money is. Yeah. Like it or not, regardless of what you think of where Wilder is in his career at the moment, he's the biggest name out there, one of the biggest names out there. So why would he fight Fabio Wardley? He's not going to get paid. He won't get paid a fraction of what he will against Wilder. What difference will that look in a few years' time? I boxed the best. I boxed all the big names in my career. So I get Usyk. I think Usyk's probably got 2 fights left in him because he wants to, not because he has to. And because the opportunities aren't there for him, because he can forever go out and fight these young guns and risk defeat. But he's like, I'm going to go where the money is, and then I'm done. So the last 6 months to a year, I've never heard him talk about walking away. I've got 1 fight left. I've got 2 fights left. I've never heard him talk about exiting our sport so much. So he's fighting Wilder because it's a name, and he'll be getting paid more money. He's one of the few fighters that is in a position to be bigger than the belt. So the belt's stripped off him. Wardley doesn't believe he's a heavyweight champion. And he won't believe he's achieved anything until he gets in the ring, and they officially, well, I won in the ring, but he didn't really. So will Wardley believe he's a world heavyweight champion, the best fighter heavyweight in the world? No, he wouldn't, because they know Usyk's around. When Usyk's gone, then he can have that conversation. And Alexander is one of the few fighters that is bigger than the belt. He's going where the money is, so you cannot knock him. Terence Crawford is one of those fighters again. The WBC have stripped him because he won't pay the fee, which he thinks is more than everybody else is charging. And you know what? It makes no difference. It just makes them look bad. So there are very few top fighters that are ever in that position, and so these guys can afford to give it up. It's only the governing bodies that make themselves look stupid.
Interesting. Just if people do ask why there was a cut in the interview, unfortunately, the battery died. Very amateurish of me, I do admit. It's not happening.
We didn't miss anything out. Yeah. We didn't do anyone out. We don't. Right, cool.
I'm not going to cut anything out. But yeah, man. Okay. In regards to that, then Tyson Fury is making some noise, and there's some quotes coming out saying that the king is set to return to his throne. What do you make of Tyson coming back? Because we know, look,
he didn't go anywhere, man. He never went anywhere. He did. You know what? He's had a break. He's had a break to lick his wounds and lick his ego because he got his arse given to him twice, and it hurt him. So now he's like, I'm back now. Where before it was, I'm never fighting again. I'm done. I'm out of this. And then you had Spencer Brown. You had Frank saying, yeah, he's done. Oh, well, I'm not sure he might change his mind tomorrow. He was never done. He just backed off to lick his wounds and his ego. So when it's not welcome back, it's like, about time. Your food's getting cold.
No, I think he was actually shooting his season with Netflix as well. So obviously, I think that's why he's taking time out of boxing. Obviously, you can understand that, right? But can you understand that?
He didn't. No, he said he quit. He's done with that game. That's what he said. And he said only Robin Hood wore a mask or something like that. He said he quit. Stop making excuses for him, man.
I'm not making excuses. I'm saying, can you understand? He's probably shooting something that's very lucrative.
Yeah.
With Netflix. No.
I'm a fighting man. Remember, that was his mantra. He never quit. But the people that worked for him, Spencer Brown and Frank, had to agree with him. And then eventually it's like, well, we don't know, he might change his mind tomorrow. We knew. They knew. Anybody that knows him, he ain't quit. He ain't quit. So and you know what? Good. Because Tyson actually can fight. He might not be the best fighter in the world, but he sells tickets, puts bums on seats, and he gets the win. You either love him or loathe him. So he can fight. Stop pissing about. You can do it. You just got beat by somebody that you keep looking at and think, oh no, he didn't beat me. Or I'll look at it again, he didn't beat me. The fight against Usyk will probably not happen again. The fight against AJ probably will happen if you both stop being stupid and just get on with it.
In regards to what you're saying, and obviously we welcome Tyson back regardless of whatever, because look,
I didn't say we welcome Tyson back. All right.
No. I'm saying we welcome the likes of Tyson, whoever else back, because I want to ask you, at the end of 2026 or the start of 2027, we could potentially see Usyk calling it a day, Tyson Fury calling it an official day because of age and everything else, and he's fought everyone else. Anthony Joshua. Yeah. I'm even going down to Bivol.
There's a new dawn.
All right, who is that new dawn then?
The new dawn. You've got Moses. You've got Fabio. All of a sudden, thinking, how the hell did he do that? You've got all these young heavyweights, these young guns coming up, thinking, right, I'm having some of this. Now that the horizon, it all changes now. So we've had that era. They've gone. Them man will be gone by the end of 2026. They're gone. I didn't think Tyson or AJ would be around the end of this year. I think AJ's probably got one fight left in him after this, and that'll be in Africa and say, I'm done. AJ, what he can do outside of boxing is mad. What he can achieve is mad. And he knows it. But you know what? There's far too much money on the table for him to say, nah, I ain't doing that. And it'll be such a shame if him and Tyson Fury didn't fight each other before they quit. Because it would be such a waste of money. But two, it'd just be unfair. Whose fault is it? Who do you blame? Do you blame Tyson? I do. I blame Tyson, if I'm honest with you. I think AJ wants to fight regardless if I think AJ will win or not. You know what? I'd blame Eddie, actually. I'd blame Eddie and I'd blame Frank. I'd blame those two for saying, sitting them down saying, boys, clunk. I think AJ wants it. But I think the people around him, you know, they facilitate Tyson's wins, his ups and downs, and so therefore that's why this fight is not going ahead.
Interesting. When we're talking about new horizons, and I was going to talk about other fighters that are calling it a Bivol, Bitsby, whatever else. Conor Benn is a name that obviously Eddie and has got leverage to it because of the family history, the two fights with Eubank. He's been called the number one for the WBC. That seems to have made a debate online. People like to talk about boxing. That has obviously formulated debates online. Where do you sit in regards to this debate?
Why? What's the problem?
People are saying maybe he's not fought enough at that weight.
Find out if he deserves it when he gets in and fights. If he shouldn't be in there, he'll get blasted out. If he goes in there and puts in an amazing performance, saying, "Oh, I get that," what's the problem? He put on two great performances against Chris Jr. Lost one, won one. He improved the second time round, even though Junior kind of was depleted in it. So why not? I don't know what the problem is.
Do you feel like he gets the credit he deserves after these two fights because there were two tough fights and he had to go up and all this sort of stuff? Do you feel like there's...
No, he should get the credit because I think he boxed differently, but boxed better the second fight around, regardless of what happened with Junior. That was Junior's call. So and before all the scandal around his career, I said Conor Benn was one of the fastest improving fighters I've seen. He's a talented young man. Now he's being elevated to number one. We'll find out if it was fair or not, him getting that opportunity when he gets in there. Can he last? Can he mix it with those boys there? And that's what we'll find out. And if he's not, he'll get blown out. That's why you've got rankings. If you deserve to be there, you'll stay there. If you're not, you'll get blown out of the water.
Interesting. Actually, the aftermath of that fight, we saw Chris Eubank Jr. actually put some posts up, and they were very nice. Obviously, him in a hospital bed, talking about health issues running up to the fight, and also we spoke to Napa, who said there was health issues in that first fight. He obviously overcame them, won that first fight, so thought he'd give it a try second time around, but still had the health issues. What do you make of that? And as a fighter, you must understand, that warrior mentality, but also
I understand Chris. And Napa just said he's had it 3 fights, this condition. It's just gotten worse. So to me, whoever knew, they have a responsibility and a duty of care. Even though Chris calls the shots, Chris is the one that says, you're hired, you're fired, you're in, you're out. And I'm quite sure those close to him were saying, Chris, don't do it. But then he had 10 million reasons twice to do it. And so I get it. I think everybody's ignoring what his dad was saying. Everybody was vilifying his dad, giving him hassle, saying, he's eccentric, he's X, Y, Z. His father was telling us. So he didn't tell us, but he's telling us, this is going to kill my boy, you're killing my boy. And it almost did, was touch and go in the ambulance the first time around. He was in hospital for 3 days, his big toenail fell off. He was completely rinsed, gone. Then he went and did the same thing again months later. So if there was an existing condition 2 or 3 fights before, do you honestly and truly think that wouldn't have contributed to that existing condition and made it worse? Why on earth would you think you could get away with it and make it better, you'd be all right? So he's suffering the consequences of a gamble. And it's not until in a few years' time he might say, you know what, I should have listened to my dad. Why don't people give Chris Senior some props and say, you know what, we should have listened to you? But they won't. They won't give him props and saying we should have listened to you because you had it right, and we just mocked you because we were going for our hunger. We wanted what we wanted. We wanted our pound of flesh. But his dad didn't do anything wrong apart from speak the truth.
Yeah, it's interesting. Hopefully Chris, gets back to 100%. He doesn't want to disclose what it is, and I don't think that's anyone's business.
Boxing, in the grand scheme of things, is that Chris has twins on the way. Yeah. He lives out here in Dubai. I gather he has a beautiful life. Boxing's that, and I'm telling you now, this fight is that when you're fighting, you say, I'll die in this ring before I lose. It's not till you get on and think, oh my God, I can't believe that I was willing to make that deal with the devil. Chris don't need boxing. And you saw how you handled Eddie and how you handled everybody else. He treats him in a certain way to say, look, you're all scumbags, you're X, Y, Z. So he don't care about boxing, Fo. Why do you want to dip your toe in this sewer? Why do you want to dip your toe back in that sewer? So I don't believe he'll box again. Regardless of what he's put out, I don't believe he'll box again because I think what he's done will affect him for the rest of his life.
Interesting. Just a final one, and I said we'd talk about it at some point, but Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. I don't want to ask you what happens in this fight because I think we know what's going to happen in the fight.
What should happen?
But for AJ, it's a win-win, right? And what makes it a win-win for Jake Paul? Is it already a win-win? He's fighting someone.
A win-win for Jake Paul is if he goes the distance. That's a win-win. He gets paid 100 million plus whatever it is, and he goes distance with the former heavyweight, two-time heavyweight champion of the world. That's a win-win for him.
But that's a stretch, though.
I'm not saying win.
Okay.
I'm saying he just goes the distance.
Yeah, but that's I'm not saying win, but even the distance is.
So that's a win-win for Jake Paul. It's a lose-lose for Anthony Joshua unless he's torturing him all the way through. And I keep saying it. I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what, AJ shouldn't let this boy last around. I'm like, no, you couldn't. Because what would you do? Why would you, if somebody's done bad on you, why would you eliminate them? Because they're not really suffer the consequences of their actions because they're out. They're knocked out cold, they're gone. But if you damage them, you hurt them, you injure them, you ruin them where they're thinking, they're panicking, oh my God, I can't breathe, oh God, my chin, oh my eyes bleeding. So you've got them to panic up there, so then they learn the lesson to think, I ain't doing this shit again. AJ needs to torment him like a cat with a mouse. He needs to torment him. I don't mean a mouse just picking and poking, I mean punching and kicking. He needs to really damage him where he quits. So Jake Paul, because you see guys in the street fighting all the time. And when you see him, if you're a fighter, you can see how long it's going to last, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. You'll see it. I always say, if you're in the street having a fight, if you've ever had a real beating, you never want to do it again. A real beating. You see kids head down and go, if you've ever had a real beating, you'll never want to do it again. I've seen people come in the gym, think they can fight, they get clapped. And when they get clapped, rat-a-tat-tat clapped, they think, I'm done with this. And this is what needs to happen to Jake Paul. He's now stepped into big boy waters. And AJ needs to show him why it's big boy waters and it's not a playground. It needs to hurt him.
Interesting. On that note, Johnny, I'm going to let you go and enjoy some of the IBA boxing festival. I think that's where you're going, right?
That's where we're going, baby. We're going to go to watch the amateurs across the road. A lot of amateur boxing this week, so it'll be good. We'll see some up-and-coming talent that's on its way.
And then you're going to, Duke said he can't swim, so he's going to dip his feet into the water, but are you going to go for a night restore?
I'm not getting my hair wet. I'm going to just, sun shining. I'm topping up this tan, G. I'll be laid there. I'll be topping up that tan like...
Johnny Nelson, always a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you this week for sure, man.
Peace.
Thank you very much.